I'm Sam.
And this is Gabe.
And this is Coaster Wars.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coaster Wars podcast, where today we are talking about the legendary wooden roller coaster manufacturer, the Gravity Group.
Yes, this is one of our special episode formats we like to call Coasters 101, where we talk about everything and anything coasters, from terms you might use to forces you might experience to manufacturers in the roller coastering world. If you're new here, this is a really great place to get a start if you're not too familiar with a lot of anything going on in the roller coastering world. And as Gabe said, we're doing a special today on Gravity Group, which is a favorite Woody manufacturer of mine and Gabe's. In fact, I think both me and you have several of their coasters, honestly, on our top 15 Woody list.
Yeah, we've actually surprisingly been on most of these Gravity Group Woodies, at least here in the US. So I'm looking at their little map here. Looks like they have one in Florida, which is definitely a bucket list of mine. Mind blower. There's two in Texas, and we haven't been on either of those.
Dang.
Let's see. There is one at, obviously, Holiday World.
Yep.
There's one at Kentucky Kingdom I think you've been on.
Yep.
Then there's the two in Wisconsin that we both have been on.
Yep.
Then there's the one in Erie, Pennsylvania. There is one in Laghorn, Pennsylvania, called Oscar's Wacky Taxi. There's one in Connecticut, and then there's one all the way up in northern New Hampshire called Warosaurus. I want to go ride that one. Sounds like a great one.
I wonder how far of a drive that would be for me.
All the way up to New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Probably like
you don't have to look it up.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. I could definitely do that in a day.
But
anyways.
So when I say we've been on most of them here in the US, I mean most of the significant ones. A good portion of these are like their family coasters. So that has kind of like blown up. In recent times, that's become their more popular ride model. Did you look at their ride models, what they offer?
No, I didn't. I have a little bit on their history, but even then there's not really much to speak on their history. And then I have a little bit on, obviously, their first coaster. I have a little bit on Switchback, and then their Timberliner trains, and then retracking.
Oh, okay. Side note here, they have a roller coaster called Dueling Dragons.
Do they really?
Yes, they do. And it's a racing rodent coaster, and it looks really good. I'm just looking at the pictures of it.
Should I maybe do a little bit of their history before we get into their coasters?
Why don't you dive into that?
Okay, so this is a wooden roller coaster design firm that's based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And they got their start in 2002 after the bankruptcy of CCI, Custom Coasters International. And many of the engineers over there came over and founded this new company. And between them, they had several years of experience in civil, structural, and mechanical engineering, gained with projects of over 40 roller coasters around the world. So that's the other thing to remember about this company is they are international. So that's why Gabe put the caveat that we've ridden a lot of their stuff in the US, because they do stuff overseas. And I think when Gabe was looking at their list, they do a lot of stuff in China. So they have currently 29 roller coasters, 28 of which are still operating today, which is kind of cool.
Yes, that is very cool. They have a lot that are still operating. One little thing too that I was like kind of scrolling through in like their services on their website is that they do offer a quote unquote smoothing and reprofiling. So this goes back to what we were talking about with the Grizzly. I believe they're the ones that did the work on Viper at Great America. It does say that they do reprofile track. So right on their website, it says small changes can make a big difference in ride experience. With unique track smoothing technology, the team at the Gravity Group can breathe new life into your classic wooden roller coaster. From minor adjustments to full brand new elements, the Gravity Group has a solution. So when we talk about like noticing subtle changes in the reprofiling of coasters like Grizzly and Viper, that is real. That is something that they actually offer right on their website. So like So like when we say that they're not just doing a retrack, that there is probably some reprofiling involved, that is proof of it.
Yes. So talking about the retracking, since we're talking about that before we get into some of their coasters, they use engineered pre-cut track to retrack wooden roller coasters. And it's kind of cool because if you know the coaster has been retracked by Gravity Group, you can see like the stamp of their like G on the wood. And as just like a tidbit, they won the Innovation of the Year at the 2021 Golden Ticket Awards, which the Golden Ticket Awards is obviously, in case people don't know, I believe is just like about amusement rides in general and stuff. You've probably heard us mention in previous episodes that certain roller coasters have won like the Golden Ticket Award for so many years in a row for that type of roller coaster. So, and the list that I have, and this probably isn't a comprehensive list of coasters that have had the retracking, is the Beast, the Racer, Mighty Canadian Mindbuster, Woodland Run, which is at Kentucky Kingdom, and Raven at Holiday World.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're fine. The thing is, too, is this is retracking, so this is actual full replacement of the track. What Gabe was talking about probably like isn't a full retrack. It could just be reprofiling, which it could be a more comprehensive list of different ones that they've done it to.
Yeah, I was sorry. When you said the Beast, I was thinking about that for a second, and I realized that they've done all of the retracking on the Beast, I believe.
Oh.
Which also they're, I don't know if you know this off season they're actually redoing the Helix section. I don't know if they're really doing any
Ooh.
reprofiling, but I do know they're
Yep.
completely retracking the second lift and like the Helix section of the coaster. So that's where my brain
Dang.
was like, oh wait, yeah, that's right, that is Gravity Group. So
Mm-hmm.
they do a lot of work outside of coaster manufacturing. I think that has to be a given considering the fact that they don't have a ton of roller coasters in their portfolio. Like they're not building coasters, major coasters, I should say, every year. Like I said, they've also really focused on the family coaster side of things, like Kentucky
Yes.
Flyer. That's a good example of their family coaster. The one that surprises me is Mind Blower. I didn't realize how new of a coaster that was. It says it's 2017,
Dang.
and it's
Okay.
the only reason I say that is because it's a coaster that people are already complaining is starting to get rough. Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's, I think part of that has to do with the fact that it is a Florida located coaster. And
Oh,
I will
okay.
say, the humidity and heat down there just does not bode well
Yeah.
to wooden roller coasters. The interesting part about this is it does have the full steel structure support, so that's kind of
Oh,
neat.
yeah.
Yeah, this is in
Before,
Kissimmee, Florida. Mind
oh,
blower.
okay. Before we get into more coasters, since we're talking about other stuff that they've done, do you want to talk about their Timberliner trains?
Yeah, I hate them. They suck. Um, they're they're the biggest advantage the Timberliner trains have over other wooden roller coaster trains like the PTC is the fact that they are they're rated to go upside down.
Uh-huh.
So that is the biggest difference between those trains and like the traditional, like, because even like a GCI train, which is lap art, not designed to go upside down.
Yep.
The only other wooden coaster trains that are designed to go upside down are obviously the RMC, but that's
Mm-hmm.
because they just use the same style trains for their steel eye box and for their wooden topper track.
Yep.
So that's why they have those capabilities. But yes, the Gravity Group is the only other modern manufacturer that can feature inversions on their
Yep.
wooden coasters, and that's a big part due to the Timberliner trains. They just suck. They're not comfortable. I mean, I think it has to do with the like ratcheting restraint style system that they have.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an arm that like swings down and then like pulls down, and then you have to reach over and buckle the end of it, and it's just a really annoying restraint. It's not very intuitive, I think, is
Mm-hmm.
my biggest complaint. Like, if you're not an enthusiast and you haven't seen these trains before, you might not know exactly how to get in and out of them, and you definitely might not know how to actually secure the restraint properly. And it takes more time in the station, but the biggest point is they're just not comfortable trains at
Yeah.
all. They just
Not
aren't.
really. No. So, fun fact about these trains, though, they were originally scheduled to be debuted on the Voyage in 2010, but after 3 years of delays and issues, Holiday World canceled that project, and instead they were debuted
Yes.
in 2011 on Twister and Woodland Warrior. Just like a small tidbit here, we talk about how crazy it is the Voyage has PTC trains, but it also kind of makes that ride a little bit better because if it had
It
Timberliner
does.
trains, it definitely would not be as good as it is.
Well, so I wonder what the issue was, because it's supposed to be a better styled, safer restraint.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder why they couldn't get the Timberliner trains to work. One of the things that I think might have been an issue is maybe it was an older style track, because it was
Yeah.
designed for the PTC trains, but it says on their website that the like if you click on the Timberliner trains part of their portfolio,
Yep.
it says, let's see. Oh, I guess it doesn't really say if they can be modified to run on normal tracks.
Oh, okay.
So I do like how they have a bunch of pictures of them though, with like the custom front car.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
That is the thing is they do look cool. It's just unfortunate that they're not the most comfortable things. And I haven't gotten a re-ride on Hades 316 for freaking ever, but Gabe did, and he's like, yeah, that's it was really rough when
Oh,
you rode it.
yeah, it was terribly rough. It was the worst ride experience I've had in a long time on Hades 360. And that's
Uh,
saying something, because I've had some bad rides on that
right.
guy. Yeah, that was the first time I got off a roller coaster and had actual back pain from the roller
Oh
coaster. Like, that
gosh.
doesn't happen too often for me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is getting, it needs a retrack. I mean, the coaster is how many freaking years old? I mean, it needs some love.
Yeah, and it's
It
housed at
really
one of
does.
the cheapest parks in the United States. Let's be honest here.
Oh, they do have the Hades 360 train. Oh, I will say that that is a badass looking train
Yeah,
with
it
the
really
with the
is.
Hades face on the front.
Yeah,
I like
with
how they
that,
have the
go
I like
ahead.
how they have the picture on their website of it going upside down too. It's just so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say with that, do we want to start getting into their roller coaster lineup?
Yeah, so do you want to start at
I
the beginning?
figured, yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
All right, let's see if I can pull up Hades 360 on their
So the
website.
caveat here
Oh,
is,
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I was just going to say that I'm going off of their website now instead of RCDB.
okay,
So,
so Hades was their first coaster in 2005, just Hades. And then after the 2012 season is when they converted it into Hades 360. Now, the entire layout is exactly the same except for the like island out in the parking lot after you dive under the parking lot. I don't remember what it was before the change, but they made it into a full 360. Is it a corkscrew game?
yes, it is a corkscrew. So, it opened in 2005, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
and they I thought they did more than just the corkscrew for the retracking,
It
but it
was the
doesn't look like
corkscrew.
they did.
It was it's the overbanked turn because it's 110 degrees.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Other than that,
So,
I'm pretty sure the rest of it stayed the same.
yeah, basically when it opened or whatever, in 2013, it was the first wooden coaster with a corkscrew, and it was also, you're right, the first 110-degree banking on a wooden coaster. So that would be that overbank
Oh, okay.
turn.
So I would say that this one is a little bit of a nostalgia factor for me because I got to ride both Hades and Hades 360. And then, even though me and Gabe consider Six Flags Great America our home park, this one is a closer drive. And granted, it's funny though, because I think I've been to Great America more times than I've been to Mount Olympus, but Mount Olympus was a day drive, and it was like we went for the go-kart tracks because they have go-kart tracks, but we would ride the coasters. And I also remember when this got converted into Hades 360, and that was like crazy to go upside down on a wooden coaster. The line for this thing was so long all the time.
See, now that's funny because I don't think I ever rode the original Hades.
You might not have. I mean,
I'm trying to
2000,
think if in 2012 was I even tall enough?
you might not
It would have been
have.
11.
Yeah, I don't think you would have
I
been
don't
tall enough.
know.
Because I think for this guy you had to be 54 inches.
Yeah. I know I rode Pegasus by that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hades 360 is definitely not a coaster that I don't think I got to ride the Hades. I really don't. I think I only got to ride it as Hades 360.
Mm-hmm. So,
Kind of surprise little thing there, but
fun fact about this guy too, it features the longest tunnel on a wooden roller coaster. It's got two
yes.
massive 800-foot tunnels, meaning there is 1,600 feet of track that is literally underground in this guy, and at nearly 4,700 feet of track, literally like a fourth of this roller coaster is in fact underground. And if you're on RCDB, the other thing too is it features a 90-degree banked turn in the tunnel. And there's this crazy picture on RCDB where it must be one of the engineers or something standing next to the 90-degree turn. And
Oh,
it just
yes.
illustrates how crazy it is to just be directly sideways on a roller coaster, which is really cool. So, and me and Gabe like to talk about this ride, and we're like, it's cool that it's at Mount Olympus, but at the same time, it really kind of stinks because unfortunately, it's not really taken care of the greatest. And this is one of the ones where we talk about if it was smoother, it would probably be higher on our list because it has a decent layout.
It has an amazing layout. So this roller coaster, this is a coaster I wish I could have ridden the day it opened, because
Mm-hmm.
I am sure when this thing debuted. Imagine, okay, now just bear with me here.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Picture the year 2005, like before GCI came around, before wooden roller coasters has really came, like a wooden roller coaster from 2005 is still not a modern wooden roller coaster, and isn't.
No.
And then this thing opens in Wisconsin, of all places, in the middle of nowhere. Just
Yeah.
picture what it would have been like to ride this when it opened. Just an absolutely insane wooden roller coaster. And then on top of all of that, it's Gravity Group's first coaster that they constructed, designed, and built basically all on their own.
Uh-huh.
And
Just pause for a second here in case nobody's ever heard of this coaster. So Hades itself, when it was built, was 136 feet tall, featured a 160-foot drop, or 140-foot drop, sorry. Why does it have height and elevation?
because it's two different things.
Oh. Well, I apologize.
So where does it have, where are you reading that from?
RCDB. It says height is 136, elevation is 160, and then the drop is 140.
Yes, so the elevation change is going to be from the station height, I believe, to or that might be overall elevation change.
I suppose it does dive into a tunnel.
No, I'm saying like overall over the coaster.
Oh,
Yeah,
so like if you add it all up.
So if you took the top of the lift hill to the bottom of the lowest element, probably the drop out of the station is 160 feet, if I had to guess. And that makes sense because that drop out of the station is probably about 20 or 30 feet, right?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing we talk about this ride as a total side note is you have to hike your ass all the way up to this goddamn station. And like,
oh yeah,
it's a hill, it's like several stairs, and you're just like, this is literally actually the highest station ever.
It is. It really is.
So the height of the coaster is 136 feet tall. The drop is 140 feet. It's got a top speed of 60 miles per hour. Like, that is insane for a roller coaster in general, for a Woody.
Oh, 100%. And just like this coaster is a terrain coaster. Like, I do think that is something we kind of forget about. So, sorry, I'm just trying to look up coasters that were built in 2005.
Uh-huh.
And so far I'm not coming up with a whole lot. Kingda Ka was built in 2005?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. That's interesting. I never realized that. Yeah, that's probably one of the most notable ones
Yeah, I was gonna say
for
I can't think of anything
2005.
like. The thing is I feel like with Woodies, it was like you had a bunch built in the 70s and 80s because that was like when all the wooden giants were being built. That's when the Beast was built. That's when American Eagle was built. Grizzly was built in the 80s.
Yeah, for
Racer was
sure.
built in the 70s. Like all of those big name wooden roller coasters were all built in the 70s and the 80s. And then in the early 2000s, you have this guy. Another coaster we'll get to eventually is Voyage. And then it's like, and then we don't start talking about Woody's again until like Mystic Timbers, which was 2017. Uh, Thunderhead, which not sure when that was built. But even then, like some of the Woodies that like the topper tracks that RMC built, I mean, they didn't start building coasters until 2012. So it's like you kind of have these pockets of Woody coasters being built, and this is kind of almost the start of it in the early 2000s.
So here's an interesting thing that
Okay.
I just, as I'm kind of going through, Timber Falls, the
Yeah.
Avalanche, was built in 2004.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just trying to go through, like, I'm just going through all of the roller coasters now.
Okay.
Hellcat at Clementon Park was built in 2004. That is another SNS
Okay.
Woody. And the rest are all. Thunderhead was built in 2004.
Oh, so it is an earlier one.
That is an earlier one.
Okay.
I was wrong. I didn't realize. I suppose GCI was technically the 90s when they started building roller coasters because that's when they built Wildcat, right? It
I
was
think
the,
so,
the
yeah.
late 90s, early
Yep.
90s.
Let me look
So
it
yeah,
up real
but you're
quick,
still
but
talking about even Thunderhead though, as good of a coaster as it is, I don't think it stands up to Hades 360. Do you?
mm-mm.
Like
No.
Hades 360, if you can, and we talk about that all the time with that roller coaster, if you can bear the roughness and the uncomfortableness of that roller coaster, it is a top tier wooden roller coaster in the world. Like,
Yes.
and it's just crazy to think that in 2005, Gravity Group was like, you guys think you can build one roller coasters? You haven't seen anything yet. And, and
Yeah.
it, and Hades, like I said, if you take Hades 360 and or even the original Hades, like it, and ride it in 2005 with fresh track, with a smooth layout, it had to have been the best wooden roller coaster on the planet when it opened. And there is some truth to that because it also in 2005 won the Golden Ticket Award for Best New Ride. So that
Oh,
goes to show
dang.
you the potential of a layout like Hades 360. It's just
Yeah.
its reputation has deteriorated so much over the years because of the roughness.
Yep. Well,
And
we
you'll see,
also
I was gonna
we
say, you'll
talk
see.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we talk about the accessibility of a park like Mount Olympus.
Oh yeah,
So it's not near a huge metropolitan area. And Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin is like a touristy area. So they do have
it
hotels and
is.
stuff, but it's like unless you're into the other touristy things, like you have to be a real enthusiast to kind of just make your way up just to ride this roller coaster.
The problem with Hades 360, there's two problems to it. So number one, it's the only coaster at Mount Olympus that truly draws people in. Obviously, you
Mm-hmm.
have, I mean, Zeus is another one that a lot of people talk about, but honestly, like, it's a good Woody, but that's all it is. It's a good
Yep.
Woody. It's nothing special. Pegasus has the whiplash corner, and Cyclops is just a one trick pony. It has one really good element. So like there's not a lot else to draw you in. And the second issue is it's not a drive past amusement park. Like
No.
Indiana Beach is kind of a drive past amusement park. It is
Mm-hmm.
worth stopping there on the way to another one. You know, there's a lot of amusement parks where you could say that I'm not going to. Kentucky Kingdom's another one. I'm not going to make a specific stop to Kentucky Kingdom, but if I am driving from Indiana to Ohio, maybe I'll decide to head south for a little bit and go to Kentucky Kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or if I'm on my way to, like, let's say I'm passing through Louisville, the park's open, and I'm heading to Florida or, Georgia or something like that. All right, why not just swing in for a couple hours, ride all the roller coasters, and head out? Like,
Yep.
and that's the thing with Mount Olympus is it's a good enough park to drive somewhat out of your way, but to go from Chicago to the Dells is 3 hours. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? 2 hours?
It might be 3. This is quite a ways
I don't know
over
if it's
there.
quite. I don't know if it's quite 3, but it's definitely over 2.
Yeah.
So like, and that's depending on timeline. And the other thing too is it's not 2 hours because it's 2 hours there and then it's 2 hours back.
Yep.
Because you're not driving through Wisconsin. I mean, unless you're going to Valley Fair in Minneapolis, that would be the only amusement park. And Valley Fair isn't really a must go visit amusement park that you're going to drive out of your way for.
Yep.
So it just doesn't have the draw that other amusement parks have. And I think so that's part of Hades 360's issue. And then it's just so rough. It's just, it is so unbearably rough now that even for an enthusiast, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort to ride this roller coaster. But that's what I'm saying. If you went back to 2005 when this thing opened, it probably was the best Woody on the planet, which is just insane that they built it where they did.
Yeah, really. So it almost makes me think where even with all their like experience and stuff from CCI, it was like they needed somewhere to take kind of a chance on them as a new company, and then they built this monstrosity, and then they're like, oh, okay, they can build coasters.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, think about it this way: Hades was so good in 2005 that they haven't had to build another coaster since. That's how good it was. That they've been riding off the coattails of this coaster for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good it was. And they're just like, and all they had to do was just like, we'll throw a corkscrew and an overbank on there. And guess what? It's still the best coaster in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
like honestly, what would be crazy? Imagine Hades 360 at Great America. Could you imagine that lineup with a top tier world class Woody?
Yeah.
On top of it, honestly, Hades 360, if you take that out of that amusement park and you plop it in Great America, it's probably the 4th best coaster there.
Oh, easily.
Like without a doubt. It's definitely better than Viper. It's definitely better than American Eagle. It's definitely better than Superman.
Yeah.
Now the one I would go to you and be like, is it better than Batman?
The problem is there's such different rides.
Oh, I know.
And I have to think about it too. Like if it was at a Six Flags park, granted, it's probably not perfect, but it's probably still better maintained than if it was at Hades or at Mount Olympus. So
that's the thing. If it was at a Great America Park, when they did the corkscrew and the overbank, if they retracked the entire coaster, I would probably say it's better than Batman.
I was just about to say.
Honestly, it is that good of a Woody. It really is. And this is a coaster at one point was in my top 15, even with how rough it is now.
Yeah, it was in both of ours.
Just picture it if it was smooth.
Yeah.
Picture if it was like the Voyage. $1 million retrack. Like,
yeah. Actually
so
crazy.
That's what I like to say about Hades 360 is it's such a polarizing coaster because of its roughness that if it just got a retrack, if they just retracked it, it would be such a good coaster again. It really would. And that's how good their first roller coaster was, that in 2025, I guess this thing's 20 years old now. 15, it's 20 actually.
Yep.
But like 20 years ago, their first coaster could still stack up to some of the best on the planet. That's how good Hades 360 was.
Yes. So we can only I wish we could say we could hope that a retrack would happen, but I honestly don't think.
I mean, at some point he's going to have to, just for safety reasons.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it's either we hope for a retrack or this thing will end up getting shut down, which is worse. So I mean, this coaster, don't get me wrong, in today's day and age has its drawbacks. It is a single train operating coaster that only dispatches with a full train. So if you get there on a busy day, it's going to suck. And if you get there on a slow day, it's still going to suck because you need a full train to ride.
I was going to say, you get there on a busy day, you're going to wait at least an hour and a half for this coaster. You get there on a slow day, you probably won't even ride it. So
we should still be waiting an hour and a half for it just for people to fill it up.
Yeah.
There's a happy medium when you got to hit this roller coaster, and it's hard to do. I will say that.
Yeah. So with that, we could talk about their next coaster that...
Oh, God. I will say this. Gravity Group, what the hell was in your drinks? Like, when you guys were starting these roller coasters? Like what?
Yeah.
What? Just, it's unbelievable sometimes. Like, when you look at their initial roller coaster constructions.
Yeah. Because literally the next year was the Voyage.
Yeah.
So, which, if we want to get into that guy, stands at number 1 for Woody coasters for both of us. And then I forget where it lands on our just top 15 overall, but it's in both of our top 15.
I want to say mine is, I have it at 3 or 4. Overall.
The Voyage is a crazy.
It is. This is about as perfect of a wooden roller coaster as you can get.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that. This is about as perfect of a wooden or of any coaster as you can get. Like, just an absolutely well-rounded, well-engineered, well thought out layout. The other thing I want to say about both these coasters, and I think this is going to be a thing that we talk about periodically, even because even when we get to like some other more modern ones, Gravity Group thrives when you give them a hill.
Yes.
If you have a hill or a terrain layout or any kind of traversing that you want to do with a roller coaster that is wooden, don't call GCI, don't call PTC, don't call any of the other. Call Gravity Group.
Don't even call RMC. Call Gravity Group.
Honestly, okay. RMC, if you take away Lightning Rod, they don't really have I guess Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, that's a terrain coaster too.
Okay.
But like Hades 360, they use the hillside so well. Because not only do you have like the best pre-lift section, I guess we're back on Hades 360, here we go.
It's fine.
But like they have the best pre-lift section ever because of where they put the station.
Yep.
Then you have the entire like roller coaster layout under the parking lot in the tunnel. Then it pops out, then it goes back through the tunnel. The pacing's insane. And then you crest over this massive airtime hill, and you still have you're not even going through the fastest part of the layout. Because you go over that airtime hill and you drop back down in the valley and you're still flying. And that's what the Voyage does so well. How long is it? It's like 6,000 feet of track, right?
Yes. So real quick, before we get more into this, quick stats of this guy. It is 6,442 feet long, a height of 159, drop of 154, top speed is 67 miles per hour. That vertical angle is 66 degrees, and it has a duration of 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Is it really 2 minutes and 45 seconds? Oh,
according to RCDB, which I do not doubt with that lift hill.
Yeah. Who's got a steeper drop? This is 66 degrees?
I believe Voyage. Hades, I think, is literally negligible. It's 65 degrees.
Okay, so they're about the same. I was just curious. Anyway, any hoozle. I think that's the first time I said that in the podcast. That's what the Voyage does so well, too, is you basically go through these massive, huge airtime hills, right?
Yep.
And then you go through that back kind of like twister section, and it's just so good. And then you're like, you're approaching the mid course, and you're like, this coaster's like, it's like on the ground. It has nothing left. Like, it is crawling. You basically like pop up into that mid course, and you're like,
yep.
How is this thing getting back to the station? But that's the trick. You're on top of a hill. You don't even know because you're way out. They hide it so well.
Yeah.
Through the massive airtime hills that you're like, and then you just gotta go through one drop, and then you go through another, and then you go through another, and then all of a sudden you're flying, and you're like, how is this coaster moving faster than when we started? It's because you're on top of
Yes.
a hill. It's like, I'm telling you, man, if you have a hill, call Gravity Group. They'll
Yep.
build you a rodent coaster.
Yes. I think the cool thing about the Voyage is it does have what Gabe is kind of describing as like three distinct sections that kind of all do something a little bit different. So it really keeps you guessing on this entire thing. And then that very last section, like he's talking about, where you dive down the hill and like you're just screaming through turns and hills and being thrown in every single direction. And I remember too, when we went to the park, I believe we purposely made this like our last ride because we're like hyping ourselves up for this.
Oh yeah.
And there's the one final corner, or like not corner, it's like a helixy section before you hit those final breaks. And you can just like, with wooden coasters, they have a certain amount of give in them, just so you know, like otherwise they would literally break apart. And you could just see the stinking train scream around this helix and the whole thing just like jostling with the sheer force of these freaking trains. And I remember going, and that's the end. Like,
Yeah.
that's the last helix. Like the amount of power this thing has to carry through this whole goddamn layout. And then I remember too when we rode it, because we didn't know what the heck to expect on this thing. I remember Gabe saying how we went over those two hills, and like, don't get us wrong, they're really good airtime hills, these huge camelbacks. But we are also like, this is what everyone's talking about. And then you get into the back section, and you're like, oh, this is what everyone was talking about.
Oh, for sure. It's just one of those roller coasters. Also, I don't know if did you read the elevation change, by the way, or no?
No, it doesn't have it on our
On
CDB for the Voyage.
on their website, it says 174 feet. So if you thought Hades
Dang.
360's elevation change was a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it is kind of a big deal to them too when they actually list it on their website that
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
overall elevation change of the coaster is 174 feet. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is actually crazy. This was 200 feet of elevation
Yeah,
change.
yeah, it's almost a hyper, almost technically speaking.
Exactly.
Technically speaking, I mean, obviously we're not going to go that far, but
No, but
but yeah, I mean, just the 1-2 punch of their first two roller coasters is just insane.
yeah,
Honestly, like Hades 360 was like Hades 360 was their first ever attempt. Amazing, awesome way to kick it off, right? And then they're like, you know what? Let's actually build the best wooden coaster on the planet in 2006, and it's going to be our second coaster ever. Let's just do
yeah.
that. Like, why not?
I feel
It's
like
just crazy to me.
we don't say that about coaster manufacturers very often,
No.
because I'm thinking of the ever so once in a while they do strike gold because you have Batman for the B&M inverts, but I'm thinking of the B&M Hyper and Apollo's Chariot, and how we're like,
Oh yeah,
that's not very good. But then their second try, Raging Bull, was a lot better. Obviously a lot better. But not very often that their first attempt. What was RMC's first coaster?
that would have been the Texas Giant.
Okay.
The new Texas Giant. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not. You can tell, like, especially so, like, because I believe their second one was Iron Rattler.
Yeah.
Going from Texas Giant to Iron Rattler is a huge jump. It really is, because, I mean, so first of all, it doesn't have any inversions. So, like, that's the first thing you notice. And it just doesn't, from what I understand, it's not as intense of airtime
Okay.
as the other coasters, and the elements are just a little tamed down compared to the other arms. He's not, obviously, I've never ridden it, so I could be completely 100% wrong. But from what I understand from other people describing the roller coaster, it's probably the most reserved RMC.
Okay.
Because it is their first. So
I was trying to look up GCI's first coaster, which was
a Wildcat, right?
What? Yep, it was Wildcat. I forgot that. So I mean,
which was a good coaster.
Yeah.
It's just a smaller layout.
Yeah.
It's one of their smaller layouts, and it just wasn't. I mean, it was probably widely considered to be the worst GCI, I think.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize though that Thunderhead was that old. That would definitely surprise me.
Yeah, I did not realize how early that thing was.
Yeah.
So yeah, just talking about these two and how they're number one and number two is actually insane.
Yeah, it really is. It really showcased what Gravity Group was capable of.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is they really haven't built a lot of coasters that live up to that hype since,
No.
which is really disappointing, at least here in the US. Now, so like I'm just scrolling through their timeline or whatever. So in 2007 they built Boardwalk Bullet, which this is a US coaster. This was built in Kemhaw, Texas.
Okay.
Don't know where that is. No idea. And it looks like a pretty cool roller coaster, but like the statistics aren't near what the other roller coasters were. Like a top height of 96 feet, top drop height of 92 feet, track length 3,236 feet. It does say, here's an interesting thing. It says it was built on 1 acre. So that's kind of cool. It also says record number of crossovers on their website, which that's kind of neat. All the different tracks crossing over. I have me very curious about this roller coaster now that I'm actually looking at it. But you could just tell, I mean, it's not a Voyage or a Hades 360, right?
Yeah.
So then after that is when we get to the next roller coaster that is very, very good.
Yeah.
Ravine Flyer 2.
Ravine Flyer 2. Ooh. Love this guy so much.
Oh, yes. This is another good example of roller coaster on a hill.
I was just about to say, this is another hill roller coaster. It's got a ravine to dive into. It's got a road to go over. It gave them such a great environment to work with.
Oh, for sure. This is another one too. So lift height 80 feet, total elevation change 132 feet.
Dang.
So again, if you got a hill that you got a roller coaster built on, call Gravity Group.
This is also just a side note here. Another crazy roller coaster that runs PCC trains and probably shouldn't, but does anyways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know. I will say it is a slightly more modern PTC train, I think, than the one on the Voyage. I feel like, yeah. I feel like, okay. Hear me out on this one, right?
Okay.
The Voyage, best Woody on the planet. Ravine Flyer 2 might be slightly more intense.
Actually, though,
like okay, obviously taking layout for layout, it's way shorter. It's half the layout. It's literally it's actually less than half the layout.
Yeah. It's 2,900 feet of track.
It definitely doesn't have the sustained ride length that the Voyage has, and then it doesn't have like the massive airtime hills at the beginning and like just the different crazy airtime moments. But that being said, this is probably almost more. It has at least a couple more intense moments. Yeah. Now, talking about the two rushing airtime moments over the road, like that is just. Oh yeah, it is an insane moment. And then even like the dive off the side of the ravine, like off the side of the cliff. Insane moment.
Yeah. I think what the Ravine Flyer does is it basically takes the final third section of the Voyage and just makes that the entire roller coaster. And I think that's what leads to it being more intense. It's like it's just that entire final section of the Voyage in one concentrated roller coaster.
It is a very compact roller coaster. They didn't have a super amount of land to work with, I will say that. So like just being able to put in the layout that they did in this area is crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
Also, this is another coaster that won Best New Ride in 2008. So that's 3 of their first 4 roller coasters won Best New Ride for a good reason. It is also the only ride to travel over a 4-lane highway, apparently. 6 tunnels and 10 moments of airtime. Yes, I think they're broken out a little more than you think they are, just because of like going in and out of them so quickly. But yeah, it says it
Yeah.
has tunnels. So
Dang.
I wonder
Okay.
if they're counting the road thing as a tunnel or not.
Actually, they probably do because
Yeah,
it's
because then
covered.
that'd be two right there.
Yeah. But I think something that we have to mention with all three of these coasters, because they are terrain coasters, leads to them all having really great, like what I want to call settings. All of them scream through trees. Like all of them have
Oh yeah.
trees growing around them and stuff, which creates a really great tunneling effect that we talk about all the time on these guys. But then on top of that, too, a lot of the, or all three of these, I feel like, except for Hades, only because it has, well, okay. Hades, you can't see a lot of the ride. And I was going to be like, well, you can really see the parking lot part. But from the station, you really can't. You only see the parking lot part when you're actually in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and the Voyage is the same way. You can see obviously the initial lift hill and you can see the two camelbacks. But besides that, you don't really see the rest of this roller coaster besides that final helix. And then same thing with Ravine Fire too. You could see a little bit more of it, but it's also really weird because it's like you see a little bit of it and you can see the initial lift hill, and then like from the station you cannot see the part where it goes over the road, and then there's just this random like turnaround off in the woods that's like you're like, how exactly did these connect to each other? So it really creates, like, if you've never ridden them before, a mystery as to where you're going. And
Oh, for sure.
I bet they all have really great night rides.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They definitely would have. I think the most interesting one for night rides would be the Voyage, just
Yeah.
because of the design of that roller coaster and the length that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all of those roller coasters you really can't see. The biggest thing with the Voyage is that the return trip is at ground level the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Because you are descending, quote unquote, the hillside. So it does a really good job of staying basically at ground level as it descends. That's why you can't really see that at all.
Yeah.
The thing about Hades 360 that, yeah, you can see the quote unquote parking lot section, but you can't see what the actual track does.
No.
Like there's elements, there's airtime hills, there's the 90-degree bank turn, there's
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff in the tunnel that you can't see. So
Yes.
you can't see what it's doing as it's going out, and you can't see what it's doing as it's coming back. But then the hillside section of it at the end is also kind of off, where you really can't. I mean, you can see bits and pieces of it, but that's really about it.
Yeah. So that's something great that really adds to all three of these roller coasters.
Yes. You know what sucks about episodes like this?
What?
Is I start going through like different roller coasters, and I'm like, well, now I want to ride that. And now I want to ride that. And now I want to
Yeah.
ride that.
Yes.
So the next one that they were constructed is called Fireball. And it is in
Ooh.
Happy Valley, Shanghai, China.
Okay.
And this is about as traditional of a coaster that I think you could get from a GCI.
Hmm.
So its top drop height is 106 feet, track length 3,819 feet, max drop angle 60 degrees, maximum banking 66 degrees. So it doesn't even feature like their 90-degree banking at all.
Uh-huh.
Here's a little interesting thing though. It says it was the first wooden roller coaster built in China.
In what year?
Now, well, that's where I'm going to go with this. I don't know if that means their first Woody built in China or overall, because I feel like in 2009 that could go either way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that. I honestly don't know. I know that could be the first wooden coaster ever in China in 2009. I really have no idea on that one.
That's actually insane.
But yeah, this one actually looks like it's kind of like an out and back layout with a like in between section.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a lap section in there somewhere. I don't know what to call it. Looks like a very intriguing coaster built in 2009. And then in 2011, guess what they built?
Zippin' Pippin.
Yes, the Zippin' Pippin in
Yeah.
Green Bay, Wisconsin, the other Wisconsin Woody on this list. Now, obviously, they can't take credit for the layout.
No.
Because it was a pre-designed coaster built in, well, what did we say, the 30s?
It might have been the 20s, Gabe.
Oh, 1920s. Oh yeah, inspired reproduction of classic 1920s John Miller design. It does say it has 12 moments in airtime. Oh, this is so cool. It's on their website. Personal favorite ride of rock and roll legend Elvis Presley. It
Yes.
says it right on their website. That's so
Yes.
cool. But they did a good job on this roller coaster. They even managed to add one of the most insane ejector moments ever. So, I mean, good job, Gravity Group. We're proud of you.
Yeah, this is the kind of place where, like, if you find yourself in Green Bay, Wisconsin, for whatever reason, if you're coming for a Packer game or anything like that, or visiting the family, go to Bay Beach, okay? It'll give you such nostalgia. It's not even funny. And then, like, I would say, like, if you have kids, obviously, because it's meant for kids, it really is. But it's got such the county fair kind of feel, and you still buy tickets. I think me and Gabe were looking. It's still technically 25 cents a ticket. What they did is they changed how many tickets things are, but not all of them. The slide is still only 3. I think what it was is the Zip and Pippin used to be 4, and now it's 6. So it's $1.50 to ride the coaster.
$1.50 to ride the coaster. Still the cheapest coaster on the planet. It has to be.
Exactly. So, and it's right on the bay. You can look out over Lake Winnebago. So, and my Wisconsin accent came out so hard when I just said that. That was awesome.
Oh, I know.
But anyway, so like not exactly an enthusiast draw, like unless you're really like hardcore. But if you're ever in Green Bay, Wisconsin, check it out for the day.
Oh, for sure. It is a very fun family wooden roller coaster with an extreme moment of ejector airtime. But like, so like this is a problem. Okay, so now I'm back to this Dueling Dragons one, right? And I'm on their website, like looking at pictures because this is another one they built in 2011. That's
okay.
Kind of trying to go in order.
What park is it at? Is it the Guangzhou Sunac Island one?
Nope, this is at Happy Valley, Wuhan, China.
Okay.
Dragon. Just look at the picture. I hope they have the picture of like the high five moment because it's so good.
I'm gonna try it. Okay, I think I finally found it. No, go back. I might have to just go to Gravity Group because I can't.
Yeah, just go right on their website and then just literally go to portfolio. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, anyway, it's spelled weird. Okay, continue.
Anyway, so like world's largest dueling and racing wooden roller coaster.
Oh my gosh.
So the red side's like 3,650 feet of track. The blue side's 3,690 feet of track. But it has 5 racing sections and 7 dueling elements. And then the one that they noted is the high five double 90-degree element.
I was going to say, I think that was the first picture.
Yes! Isn't that such a cool picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so, I mean, and it is closer than you think it would be. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, just all the pictures of this thing. I want to go ride this coaster so bad.
We have to apparently do a China trip.
Oh, we're going to have to. So, all right. There was, let's see, they also did Wooden Warrior in 2011. Let's see what this guy is. This one looks like it's a family GCI. I wish it would tell you. Does it tell you? I froze their webpage. Hold on.
Which one are you looking at, Gabe? I'm on our CDB.
Wooden Warrior, built in Middlebury, Connecticut.
Okay. I gotta go to the second page. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. See, family fun. Built-in house. Oh, yeah. It's only got a top drop height of 36 feet. So, yeah, this is definitely their family. This must be their first one then, I think, in 2011.
Yeah, it must have.
So, and then the other one that they built in 2011 is Twister. Let's see what this one is. This is, another one of the family ones. Compact family fun.
Yep.
So, 22 crossovers, though. That's interesting. It also interacts with 4 separate rides. I think that's funny that they put that in there.
Right.
Let's see. So, that's 2011. Now, 2012, I don't think they have a roller coaster because their next one is 2013.
Dang. Okay.
with Flying Dragon. Let's see what this guy is. This is an actual full-size one. Unique 108-foot double down first drop. What?
Is this another one in China, Gabe?
They call that a double down is not what it is. Yeah, this is another one in Happy Valley, China.
Yeah, I think I know. I think I have the one you're looking at.
Yeah, and they call that a double down is a stretch. It's like a speed hill.
Yeah.
It does look fun, though. I mean, it does look like a great moment. So, I mean, total drop height, though, 110 feet, top speed of 55 miles per hour. This has to be a pretty fun roller coaster, I would think, from Gravity Group. Another looks like a little bit more traditional Woody.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then you got 2014 Time Travel. Let's see what this guy is. 103 feet tall.
Yep. That's what I got.
90-degree banking. See, this one looks cool too. It has a tunnel. And it goes under a road. This looks like a good Woody from them. It really does.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's 2014. Then you have the Jungle Trailblazer timeline. They built 3 in 2015 and 1 in 2016. I think they're all the same layout. It has an inversion.
Yep, because I have a section in my history, and I said that 2015 kind of marked a time when they began doing a bunch of inversions on their wooden coaster, but it must just be because they built this coaster a bunch of times, and so that was their inversion.
Yeah, so this one they're saying it's a barrel roll inversion, not a corkscrew.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, because I suppose if Hades 360 was in 2013.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I missed one for 2014. Rorosaurus. Oh, another family coaster.
I was going to say, that name makes it sound like a...
Yep. So let's go to the other... See, this is another one. Jungle Trailblazer. Let's see what it says. Oh yeah, barrel roll inversion as well on that one. Then you have another one in 2015. I think these are all identical layouts. Or at least similar. This one
they must
different.
be similar. Well, I was gonna say because they have them all because on RCDB when you go, it's all alphabetized instead of by year.
Yeah.
So all of their Jungle Trailblazers are literally together. I'm clicking through, and only a couple of them mention the corkscrew.
Yeah. So this one, the one in Fontawild Dreamland, does not list the barrel roll.
No. They're all slightly different in height, too.
Yeah, yep. 3 of the 4 of them include the barrel roll.
I was going to say, there were a couple of them that did, because when I count them on RCDB, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
All right. So then they also built Switchback! Here we go. We finally made it to the world's only wooden shuttle coaster. While, side note here, it is no longer operating. It is still standing.
Yeah.
So as far as what I understand, it is still standing.
Okay.
But this was a really, really cool and unique coaster from Gravity Group. This is probably one of their most interesting coasters because they packed this little coaster into like a very, very small area. Mm-hmm. And it's also the only wooden shuttle coaster I think ever built, which is really, really unique.
For those who don't know, because this is a Coasters 101, Gabe, what is a shuttle coaster?
So a shuttle coaster, I guess the best way to describe a shuttle coaster is the end of the track does not connect to the beginning of the track. So basically it goes through a portion of the layout forward and then it goes through a portion of the layout backwards, and it's not a full circuit. Yeah. So basically you don't start and end in the station. Like you don't start at one end and then go all the way through the layout and just end. So like, I don't know the exact way this layout performed. I do believe there was a switch track at one point.
Yeah, from a POV that I watched a while back, there was a switch track somewhere in there. And I think
so it's not the entire layout that is like the shuttle coaster, so you don't go through the entire layout backwards, because I know it has a lift hill too.
Yep.
So, but it is, from what I understand, because of how compact it was a very good, intense, like ejector airtime pop
Ooh, that's
machine.
cool.
So, but it's just another coaster that we just never got to ride.
As a
So,
quick side note here, if anybody wants to look up other examples of shuttle coasters because they don't know what they are, look up the
yes.
Intimate Impulse coasters,
Yep.
or technically Top Thrill 2 is a shuttle coaster now, isn't it?
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
not
good
technically.
point.
No,
Not
it's still a
technically.
full circuit. It just has a swing launch.
Okay.
So I would still
Is
consider that a full circuit roller coaster.
Mr. Freeze is a shuttle coaster though, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze would be a shuttle coaster.
So those are some good examples. Anyways.
So and then let's see what else we got here. So that's 2015. In 2016, they built a roller coaster named Timber with an exclamation point. Very exciting. And I think this is really the start and kickoff of their modern family coaster.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is then. This is a family coaster, 55 feet tall,
Uh
11 moments of airtime.
just a total side note here. The trains on this guy kind of look awesome.
Oh,
Like,
don't they?
yeah.
Yeah. They're
The
like with the buzzsaw or whatever.
Yep, on the front of it. That looks fun. That's very fun.
So, and then after that, like Kentucky Flyer, that's a family coaster.
Yep.
Oscar's Wacky Taxi, that's a family coaster. Wood Express is a family coaster? Question mark. Yes. But the other one is a mind blower. So this coaster is also starting to feel the effects of the roughness of GCI.
Okay.
But this coaster was built in Florida and it has a 0G roll and 150 degrees banking. This thing is supposed to be like crazy intense.
Okay.
So it is a very compact footprint. It even says it right on their website. It is 115 by 395 feet, but they managed to fit in a roller coaster with an 82-foot drop and a maximum speed of almost 50 miles per hour and 12 airtime moments. So
And
this thing is just absolutely insane from what I understand.
I was gonna say it's 2,290 feet of track according to RCDB. So like this thing is almost as big as Ravine Flyer 2,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
crazy.
And it's in this tiny little footprint. So
Yeah.
this is a coaster that has been on my list for a long time. But I do know that it has some concerns of it be getting rough.
Okay.
However, I feel like this would be at an amusement park that eventually would start to see some retracking. But
Yep.
also it's only 10 years old. So I think that is probably the biggest knock on the Gravity Group is their I know I don't know about their family coasters because those are not as intense.
Yep.
But when it comes to the major coaster segment, they do have a tendency to become rough.
Yeah, we talk about with the Voyage, they retrack sections of it every off season. Every single off season.
Oh yeah, all the time. And that's probably why the Voyage is still as good as what it is because they are constantly retracking it. I think even Ravine Flyer 2 has gotten some retracking over the years and stuff. So they just come in and really, because I think some of it's just because they are so intense.
Yeah. They needed to stay up there. We talk about with coasters when they start to get rough, not only is it uncomfortable for the rider itself, it slows down the trains. So it's slight, but if you ride enough coasters, you notice it. And having a coaster retrack, you can definitely tell. It's why we although this isn't a Gravity Group coaster, we talk about Viper and the difference that retracking has had on that coaster.
Oh, for sure. The only other coaster that's not on their website for whatever reason that was built in 2022 is Leviathan at Australia, SeaWorld Australia. Is that not on their website? That's weird that it's not on their website.
Well, so according to RCDB, the make of it is Martin and Lemon 6. I'm not saying that right. So I'm wondering if it was designed by someone else and then just it says that it was built by the Gravity Craft Corporation. So Gravity Craft is like a subsidiary or however you want to say it of Gravity Group. They're technically the ones that do the retrack and they're technically the ones that are the manufacturers of the Timberliner trains. Yeah, so I'm wondering if well no, because it says designer, the Gravity Group.
I know, and that's why I'm like kind of curious. Maybe they just hadn't added it to their website yet. I don't know.
2022, you never know.
I know that would be 3 years ago.
I know.
Does it have the Timberliner trains? It does have the Timberliner trains.
Total side note, even if the coaster isn't that cool, the theming is freaking awesome.
I know. No, from what I've heard about this roller coaster, it also is very, very good.
Okay.
So, this would be their newest large footprint coaster.
Oh,
so
okay.
105 feet, 3,280 feet of track, top speed of 50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the Gravity Group catalog. Obviously, their first 2 coasters are the ones that we care about the most. But
yeah. Just to point out here the difference. Sorry, my ADHD brain. The Gravity Group and the Gravity Craft Corporation, it almost makes it seem like the Gravity Group is like their design firm, and then Gravity Craft is like their like construction company almost.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I got too from what I understood. So.
Okay. Sorry. Ooh, shiny moment.
But with that, I think we can just we're going to be over an hour at this point. So let's just get this done and over with.
That's the gist of Gravity Group. There are really great coasters. If it's not a kiddie coaster, like get out and ride some of these. I would say obviously Holiday World with the Voyage, definitely 100% worth the trip. Like every single coaster there is actually very decent. Even the little kiddie coaster, Good Gravy, like just go ride to have some fun. Obviously, even Ravine Flyer 2 is worth the trip, but
Ravine Flyer 2 is such an underrated coaster. It really is. And like I said, it is just a crazy intense Woody. It's just insanely intense for what it is.
Yeah. And even because it's at a park called Waldemere seems kind of out of the way for a little bit, but then it's like if you take a trip to Hershey Park and then head down to Kennywood and Pittsburgh, there's actually a lot of parks in freaking Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania. But then if you like wanted to do some of the northern parks, I don't know how, like we went to Waldemere when we had to change our planes for Darien Lake. So Darien Lake is up there. So you could really get a couple parks and make a good like weekend trip. Or if you want to do something crazy like us and do a whole week or 2 weeks, there's a lot of parks in the area you could very easily hit and stop at this guy. And the thing too is I'm rambling now. We spent a whole day there because we went to the water park afterwards, but you very easily could pop in, ride the couple coasters that are there, and then move on if you needed to.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. It's not an amusement park you have to spend the whole day at.
Nah.
Unless you want to go to the water park like we did.
It was very relaxing, and it was freaking hot out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was an amazing day, honestly. For what I could have been. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into our schedule. So we did tease in the last one that we might be changing up our schedule just a little bit because we were consistently inconsistent, missed a couple days. But we're definitely doing our next episode at least, which is coasters that make you question their safety policies. Just because that's going to be a funny episode.
Oh, for sure.
Are we definitely doing the next one?
I haven't decided on that one yet. I think we might save that one. I don't know. I think that'd be a cool episode for maybe next year.
But after that, this depends on how lazy Gabe gets. Yeah. So it's a question everything episode on Roller Coaster Lingo, but we had a listener request that we questioned me instead of Gabe like we normally do. So this will depend on if Gabe sits down and can write some questions. We'll let you all know.
I'll try to. I'll make it effort.
I feel like we definitely should do episode 14 now.
Oh, yes. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that is, we've labeled it Terrible Woodies. So this will be our chance to kind of vent and complain about terrible wooden roller coasters.
Yes.
I think we'll kind of stop there and we'll get the rest of our schedule actually ironed out. And then we'll come back in the next episode or a couple episodes later and give you guys like an actual schedule coming forward.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. But with that, everybody, thank you so much for listening this week to our Coasters 101 on the Gravity Group. And join us next week for coasters that make you question their safety policies.
And I hope you all have a great day.